Oh yeah, everyone's launching now.
In the largely white male sport, Canadian sailor Sarah Douglas is a disruptor.
That's why I'm sticking with Sarah Douglas here.
A black woman who is one of the best in her class in the world. This was her final push before leaving for the Olympic Games.
I think I feel a little bit of weight on my shoulders or responsibility in showing, diversity in sport, and especially in the sport of sailing.
Coach Von Harrison has been working with Douglas since 2017. The Paris Games will be her second Olympics, and she has some unfinished business. This is about starting and finishing strong.
Now it's just sort of going through some of the last things we need to work on, which are starts and iterations of racing.
Go.
These practice runs in Toronto with some of Canada's top sailors are about honing that starting advantage to get to the podium.
I mean, that's the whole game. As soon as you're fast enough, then you're basically trying to outsmart your competitors by judging what is the best route or the fastest way to get around the course.
Douglas trains and competes in a women's single-handed dinghy that used to be called the Laser Radial, renamed Ilka 6. An Olympic medal has been her dream for a while. Douglas started sailing in Barbados when she was 7 after her parents signed her up for lessons with her older brother Greg, who was a 2-time Olympian. She won gold at the Pan Am Games in 2019 and silver 4 years later, and she made history in her Olympic debut at the Tokyo Games. Her 6th-place finish was the best ever Olympic result for a Canadian woman in an individual sailing event. But it wasn't the podium win she was aiming for.
Oh, I was heartbroken. I was actually a little bit embarrassed, but that was tough. It was tough. I can't even watch that race to this day. I know exactly what happened, and it's really hard to kind of think about it and see it. I don't think I can watch it ever again.
Tokyo 2020.
It was crushing because she misread the wind's direction in Tokyo and lost her momentum. She's constantly learning from that mistake.
It's like running a marathon while playing a chess game. The clouds will either bring wind or suck it in. So that's the difficult thing when it comes to a rain cloud, whether it's going to push the wind or if it's going to suck it with it. And that's something we're trying to figure out all the time. Woo! Okay.
An Olympian mindset. It's a grueling road to get to it and includes preparing to compete in hot, muggy weather. It's more than 40 degrees in here, and Douglas has been at it for nearly 2 hours under the watchful eye of Coach Sheldon Prasad.
Okay, so why is it important to be working under these conditions?
It's important to prepare the athletes both physically and psychologically for what they're going to be experiencing during their competition. But we actually want to push the envelope. So we're going beyond what they'll actually be experiencing and ensuring that they're actually prepared for the environment they're going to be competing at when they're at the Games.
Check out the puddles. Douglas loses up to 2 pounds in sweat during every session, and there's more to come.
What are the worst thoughts that you're pushing past?
Oh my God, can't breathe, heat, it's like radiating out of your body, you're uncomfortable, your butt hurts from the bike, my legs just don't spit anymore. Sheldon will come in and be like, you're doing great, or he'd be like, this is a difference maker. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, this one's for the gold medal.
You spent most of the time in zone 3 on Monday.
Getting into the zone, it's a careful calculation, and the peak of every performance keeps getting higher.
It was perfect, actually, exactly what we wanted.
I'm like, if you're happy, I'm happy. Like, if that's what we wanted, great.
Crushed it!
Nailed it.
In Paris, Douglas will race 10 times to try to get the highest number of accumulated points. And nothing about this looks like it will be a breeze.
So this is a hiking bench. It simulates my boat, the Ilka 6. So basically, this is what I put my foot underneath. This is like the side of the boat. So visually, if you're thinking, this is the side, this is like water. And then I'm sheeting, and this is the position. And when I'm sailing, I'm moving, I'm going over waves, I'm altering my body, I'm kind of putting power into the boat. And so this is the position that I'm practicing. It's a lot of core and it's a lot of legs, more than people would think.
I've got the world in the palm of my hand.
Douglas is a strong contender to get to the podium. And from her patriotic nails
Pack with me for the Paris Olympics, sailing edition.
to her social media journey to the Games, she's clearly proud to represent Canada in Paris. Her priority is to set a record on the water, but simply being a woman and a black woman means she's breaking new ground too.
She's not the typical demographic of a sailor in this part of the world.
Wendy Lote is a veteran sailing judge and member of Ashbridges Bay Yacht Club in Toronto, where Douglas trains.
It is a huge deal for a woman to be sailing and competing at that level, especially in this country. There are so few women who race boats, and we hope the face of the sport does change. It's time, it's overdue.
And go. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm ready. This is my first.
At a community event to promote the power of sport and play, Douglas says she's keenly aware she is a unique role model.
I think it's really important to have representation and kind of see it, believe it. And that's a big part of kind of my journey and showing that, people from all colors and backgrounds can reach a high level.
I just love seeing women do sports because it proves that they can do sports too, as well as men.
It just makes me I have more faith in myself.
Faith, that is part of all of this. At a send-off event for the Olympic sailing team.
To begin with, Sarah Douglas.
The hope is with the wind of support on her back.
The 2024 sailing team.
Douglas is sailing off to victory.